That is a winner. Feel good. Oh, there we go. Cheapest. When I said we were leveling up, I was not kidding. You get your blowtorch. Let the drill do the work. I'm here borrowing driveway because my house is on a fire threat right now. There's only one question left. Sometimes you just gotta... I'm a bit defeated, I'll be honest. Get a little inventive. And welcome back to Bad Ideas Adventures' final build episode of this series before we head off on our trip from Melbourne to Queensland without the Hume or the M1. For the last time from home, welcome to the wrong way up. Sometimes cars suck. To tell you guys the truth, and you're gonna see it on my face here, this is the part of the build where the tiredness really set in. I've been really unwell since Christmas, but I had a day to myself to go and get this done. I had to get the brackets on, get the roller top on, and get cracking to get that car ready to accept a tent. As long as I didn't let that end my day. Probably don't have to clamp this particular one because it is pretty close to the edge here. Brilliant. Pull that together. Gun goes dak dak. Nick, how do you know when it's tight? Oh, about 2 more ugga-duggas. I got this box of goodies with my roller top, and my friend picked it up for me off Marketplace. I had these screws in it, and I'm just hoping I've got it right that there's 4, because it looks like it matches the set, and it does. Then our next order of business is to see if within our magic nutsert set we have the same size of nutsert. Hoping that is a winner. So M6, doing 4 of these now. Pull this back, change it all out. This goes in the M8 box, and I'm going to an M6. Very handily labelled and colour-coded for the dummy in your life. Go back in your home. Why didn't you just go home? And then reassembly. Alright, so it's got like a little collar. You gotta squeeze it. Get it in. All the way in. And there's a tool. Nice and tight. Pop you on there. Nice. And then this crown nutty thing. And all it leaves is the thread. Pop the riv nut on and twist the little handle to get it in, and we're ready to rumble. And so it was off to grab the roller top so I could line up the brackets for the holes that I needed to put the riv nuts in. Another day, another toxic independent moment. Here comes roller top, right down roller top lane. Holy cow, that is a big moment. Needs adjusting, but it's on. Significant gaps around here, even if we pull it in. So we've got to adjust these brackets to meet up nice and close and get level. Some of it might need a bit of lift, so I have to play with some clamps. But it all lines up pretty deliciously. So we'll get this on, or we won't get it on, we'll get it adjusted, put the holes in place, pop those riv nuts in, and then put it back on and install it. Then we go do all the drainage and work, but that's future me problem. So I got to work and adjusted those clamps. Check that it's good from the top, gets to the end. It's a little short. Could have paid me $1 million, and I wouldn't have told you the first time I used my bottle jack is to lift up a piece of steel going into my car. I don't need it to go much. I just need it to kind of be a second set of hands for me. That got too hard, so I moved on. My trusty pilot hole bit. Arm up the drill. Hit the pilot hole that I want. Don't push too hard or you'll break it. Drill, baby, drill.
Drill, baby, drill.
Then I've cleverly matched the size of my riv nut to my drill bit. So hopefully it just slots right in. If you want to complain about how I've used that drill, feel free to write in to our complaints department. You'll find it in every home. installed in a small white bowl with a large tank above it, and then just press send on the top with one of those buttons. Been quite fairly warned by my friends not to overdo how hard you push these in when it's time to clamp. Oh, come on. There we go. And that when you clamp it, force behind it, and just where it pulls tight. But if you reef it all the way through on multiple pulls, you can often pull it straight out of the metal that it's in. So we don't want that. Now we'll just test it works before I go and put 4 more in. Oh yeah. Drill, baby, drill. One down. Well, that's really warm and sweaty work in this heat, but there's only one question left. I'm a bit defeated, I'll be honest, but if this rolls, I may cry with joy. We're going to pull on this trusty cord. Oh my God. Look at that. That has solved all the angry in my day. I tell you what, let's just see if it closes. Okay. Oh, heavens to Betsy. Get a look at that. Ooh, a little low on this side. Okay, so that needs a bit of a prop up, adjustment. There is a strong amount of relief in here right now. Holy dooly.
We are the Hoolies. And how
that has been my enemy for about 3 days now. Let's see it go back. Oh yeah, it's only auto retracting because I'm on a significant hill right now. We're getting there. I always say this to my friends, and it's a Jeremy Clarkson line, but
sometimes if you listen very carefully, you can hear my genius.
I just feel so smart right now. I'm not. So, for the next order of business, we've got to deal with these drains. There's ones in the back that will go through rubber grommets. Hopefully my hoses are long enough. And I'll glue those in there with some Sikaflex, I assume. And then here, apparently these can go in through this panel here and down through the back of the tail light and end up shooting at the floor. So let me get this tail light out and see if that was a fact or fiction. I've never pulled this one out, so I'm hoping that's it. Knowing my luck, there's like one underneath somewhere. I really don't want to break this. Sometimes I need a bit of force, but it doesn't feel good. Oh, there we go. Jeepers. Came out a bit ferociously. I'm just going to leave that there. Now, I'm going to need a longer bit of hose. That is just going to dribble. There's no way that's long enough. Get all the way down. Great. Never ends. Never ends.
never end.
I think about some wizardry about how to make those hoses work. I am going to get out the old Christmas tree and get drilling for some of those holes so that I can even feed the hose down into that cavity. Got to see where it actually has the most room and what's the least destructive to get the width I need. Let's pray I don't bugger this up. Now, if you're like me, you'll know that it's pretty easy to run your drill a bit more through than you want to. So now that I figured out it's 18mm hose, I'll mark the 20 on this with some tape. You kind of just know when to stop. It doesn't have to be the most beautiful thing in the world, just an indicator. Burns a bit. It's a bit easier to be brave on the second one. Whoppa. Whew. Almost lost my face there. Almost lost my cool there. I'm gonna repurpose my old hose from the old setup because it's right here and it's already chopped up. The old build lives on. I'll replace it here, through there, and it will actually reach because there's a little square hole down there where you can see I poked the hose into. and that actually vents the atmosphere. You can see it right there. Let's see how this plays out. Put you in there. Put you in there. It is a little off. My solution may not work, but where there's a will, there's a way. I have a tremendous amount of will to be done with this right now. Oh, about 2 more ugga-duggas. Okay, so I have a few little bits to do in the back here still. So I have caps for the floor where you can see the bolts that go down to the chassis. There's 2 small caps there. and then I have these 2 for the back wall. Now, what I've seen on the internet is most people plunge cut these and shove the hoses through for their drains, so it filters out along the back of the car. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do now. But first job. Oh, yep. Number 2. I'm going to work on sealing up this a bit. So I have a flat piece that goes on here. What I'm thinking is I might just put a bit of seal tape along this edge, and that way should it ever, I don't know, intrude somehow, it's just not a vulnerability there. And it doesn't seem to actually need a proper mating service because this roller cover lid goes on. So it looks like it probably had a rubber gasket at one point. So we will give it another. This stuff is absolutely brilliant, but it is so immediately tacky. Like it just wants to stick to itself and anything around it, which is great to a degree. They don't show this on the ad of the guy sticking a boat together with it. Okay. Let's get down to business. Whoa, nearly lost that. Nearly had a huge dent in my car. Ooh. That is exciting. Alrighty, so we're back in the back of the car after a long day. I'm going to burn some night oil here. We're just going to try and fit up my DC-DC charger so that I can see how it will all sit. Not completely in love with the positioning of it, but it's kind of the best you got to do in these situations. Still trying to leave room so that the seats move well and everything's got enough wire to reach and all kinds of things. It'll be a bit of a distribution here, I think, under this bit. We'll offer it up and we'll see, hey? Oh, it's nerdy looking time. But light is light. So I'm donning my full nerd kit with the weird hand sensor thing. If you work on cars and that's why you're buying this, don't buy this one, because when you move past an item, when you're under things, you don't really want it to turn on and off. It's really annoying. It wouldn't be a car thing if we weren't putting things in upside down accidentally now, would it? Don't need to see the wires, but I do need to see a little alert lights on the top that tells me everything's working. When I said I was leveling up, I was not kidding. This is the old electrical system. Now, it's actually pretty handy. It had some handy stuff in here that I'm going to have to replace in the guts. But we're going from clicky-clacky switches that are hard to reach. Only 2 actual outlets, one for the fridge, one for the solar. It was at the time anyway. And then some good power out. So I could still use a lot of things, but I had to then individually switch it outside of the car. We're leveling up. We are throwing in an iTech World 8-gang wireless switch panel. Now this is just the duck's nuts. I don't know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, Nick, what the hell's duck's nuts and why are duck's nuts good? And you know what? That's an answer I can't give you because I actually don't know. But what I will do is show you inside, take out some of this stuff and reveal to you, ooh. So this is quite clever. We've got an excellent control panel with the clickiest switches ever. Oh, so satisfying. It's got power on, power off, RGB. It's USB-C rechargeable. And then it only comes with one cradle, so you can cradle it inside the car. I can put one at the back of the car. Maybe I'll get someone of my genius friends to 3D print me a new one. And then you've got the controller. Now this controller sits in the rear of the car. It's gonna sit near my battery, right above the thing. It's not IP rated, I don't believe. Sorry, iTech, if that's wrong. But I'm going to install it at the back, nice and dry where it will stay. And then essentially all the power runs through here for all of your little gear. Obviously anything sinister and takes a lot of power out, you want to run a direct cable to it. But for all of your little lights and chargers and whatever else we're going to put through here, water pump I assume, we're going to need it. So this is really cool. This is when everything starts to be super neat at the back, and all the chaos that you've just watched and has just unfolded will start to sort of disappear behind some shiny goods. So yeah, let's screw it in, and then tomorrow we'll probably wire it up. Yesterday, I left myself a timber piece behind here. So that should be genuinely perfect for my needs. I'm just gonna try and feel out where it ends so I know. Yeah, awesome. Let's get down to business to defeat the Hun. I will need a stupid fastener. One fail down. One to go. Never forget the all. Oh, spare fuses. That's a nice one. Never forget the all important. She's not going anywhere. I am going to start packing up for the day because it's dark and I can't see. Tomorrow, we go and see Uncle Craig, and he's going to help us wire all this up. And then we'll get lots of wiring done. So I'm going to pack up a heap of lots of the toys I want to input and start game planning properly about all of the finishing touches here. I think with the most arduous piece done so far, all I've got to do is mount my roof racks and then, oh sorry, not my roof racks, my tub racks, and then the rooftop tent can go on. But I'm waiting for those to arrive, and they don't come until like the 6th or something, and today's the 1st. And so I've got a couple days to just get everything else organized and hopefully flesh out a few bits. So I'm going to try and solve the drains. I'm going to try and solve some electricals, but tomorrow, it's electrical day. We'll get some stuff solved, and then we'll go from there. So another day done.
And this is where the real trouble began. We had parts stuck in warehouses that were shut down over Christmas and not shipped on time. We had parts that were unavailable, and everything was delayed. So with as many complaints filed as humanly possible, we waited a week and
All right. We're here borrowing driveway because my house is on a fire threat right now. Nothing bad has happened. It's actually, but we're safe. Here is what we've been waiting for. The piece that actually lets this all happen. Who gave me a knife? Okay. So I needed tub racks specifically to fit my roller cover, and I have got some from Ocam. These were the last set in the country, so a little bit intense to get them here from Perth in time. I had to call and be the best pest ever, but Ocam worked really hard for me, so I do have a lot to thank for them. Got clips for it to go in, and these are it, and they should fit eventually directly there. Oh god, it's going to be a really tight fit. I'm a little nervous after seeing these fit up live, so I'm going to extend them to the fullest. As I go to the edge there, I don't want it to have a chance to come out, but I would like it to be about as far as it goes. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Line of detail, make sure this is the same. So now, 2 racks lined up. I'll get the nuts on these, nip them up, make sure they're evenly spaced, and then it's tent time. Getting nervous.
but clearly not so nervous that I didn't take a little side quest to put a table on my tailgate, as well as take a moment to do some of the plumbing before the tent when I don't have to duck. Then test fit my fridge with the roller cover, which was very close. Oh, no, I mean very close. Gave the roller top a quick go of Mr. Black, which made this thing look brand new. And then finally, it was time to put the tent on.
Well, that sits pretty good. Obviously, we've got to measure it, but I'm nervous to smack the rear windscreen.
Had a stupid time with these slide bolts until we put duct tape on the back to hold the nut in place to then put the screw into. But one by one, the brackets went on. And just like that, we were done. All that hard work, all the stress, all the sickness, all during a silly season calendar. But before I show you the finished product, let's remember where we started.
And just like that, in the nick of time, she's on there. Bit of a rocky road to get here. We're in and we're on. Pretty sturdy. Sturdy enough that it rocks the car, and that's not the scientific test for she's not going anywhere, then she's not going anywhere. The only problem I didn't anticipate well, I did have to move the awning forward, which I wasn't overly happy about. It does look a bit silly. When I opened the clamshell, it actually fouled. But for this trip, it's mostly about shade, more so than rain protection. So I'm hoping it's still gonna last. It does dangle a bit more in the bouncing of the road, but you know, that is what it is. I prefer to have the tent than I do all of that awning. I moved my antenna up here. The UHF is installed, all the electrics work, my roller top works, I've got a water system in there now. The electric system works, the electrics inside the tent work. That's amazing, just to have everything in bed ready to go. Right next to it, it's got two USBs, 12 volts, two 12 volts and two USBs, and the lights use the USBs. So, you know, I might put another USB up there, but it works for now. I don't have to worry about it. It is Monday. We're at work this week, and we leave on Friday after work. So this couldn't have happened closer to the wire. I mean, it could have. It could have been, you know, Thursday night, which it still might be by the time we finish absolutely all of it. But I will save the tour for the next episode, and you'll see us out on the tracks. You'll see us out on the move, and we'll do a walk around camp once we get there. So tune in, and thanks for watching me build it.